did a homeschool routine video several months ago, and after we published that one, we got so many questions about it. So I thought we'd do another follow-up video and show you more in depth what our day is like when we are at home homeschooling. Hi everyone, Addie, Maya, and I are at home today. It is a Wednesday, which means it's a homeschool day for us. And we did a homeschool routine video several months ago, and after we published that one, we got so many questions about it. People wanted more detail. They wanted to see exactly what we did during the day, what materials we used, what the girls were learning, and what we did to keep school fun at home. So I thought we'd do another follow-up video and show you more in depth what our day is like when we are at home homeschooling. We start all of our homeschool days with prayer and a devotional because we feel like it just puts us in a good mood for the day, it reminds us of what's important, and it sets the tone for how the whole rest of the day is going to unfold. We've been going through this mother-daughter devotional together for the last few weeks of the 6-week program, and it's really nice because the girls have coloring experiences that they can do. They do a little bit of journaling each day after we read a little bit of the Bible and talk about it together as mothers and daughters. And if you haven't seen one of our most recent vlogs, Addie and I just went to a True Girl event, and True Girl is who puts on this devotional, a bunch of great books for mothers and daughters, and we had a blast. So be sure and go check out our mother-daughter trip video.
I'm all finished. True beauty is not about how you look, it's about how you see.
And Addie looks like she's wrapping up her journal for today, so we're gonna say our prayer and then we'll probably move on to handwriting.
Yay!
There are so many different ways you can homeschool, and I've talked to so many different homeschooling families, and people's days look just incredibly different from one another's. In our house, I try to keep it pretty structured, and I flow like with a schedule similar to when I was an elementary school teacher, and I think part of the reason I'm very structured is because of my teaching background. It works well for us, but there is no one right way to homeschool. And for handwriting, we use a reason for handwriting, which has like some scripture verses that the kids practice after they've practiced weeks and weeks of learning how to form the letters correctly. They move on and write Bible verses throughout the week. What verse are you working on, Maya?
Help me to do your will, for you are my God. Lead me in good paths. Psalm 143:10.
Each day of the week she practices different letters and words that appear in the verse, and then when we get to the 4th day she actually traces the verse, and then on the very last day she gets to pick out, there's a whole bunch of papers that you can write a final verse on, and she gets to pick one out and color it and decorate it, and we're going to collect them all and put them in a big book at the end of the year that will have all the Bible verses that they've practiced writing. Oh, that's a cool one.
It looks like Arizona.
It does look like Arizona. Now, one of the things we realized with Maya is that she was struggling printing neatly and well. And I think we realized that you had learned how to hold your pencil not the proper way all through kindergarten. And so we've been trying to correct that this year, haven't we? And so what did you get to help you out?
That's
all sorts of cool pencil grips. I found a ton of really neat ones on Amazon. We tried a bunch, and I think this is one of our favorite ones. She just slides her fingers in there, everything goes in the right spot, and then she's good to write. And Maya's really working on slowing down, right, Maya? Not rushing through writing so quickly. And then Addie, let's take a look at what she's working on, because she does handwriting too, but she's in 3rd grade, so she has moved on to cursive this year. And she's doing a really good job with it, Addie. So you're working on your, don't, and instead,
and then trees,
which appear down here in the Bible verse too. What's funny is, as an adult, I rarely write in cursive. I think the only time I ever write in cursive is when I sign my name. And so when I've been teaching Addie, I almost had to go back and relearn some of the letters, because if it's not in my name, some of them I didn't remember. I've also heard that a lot of schools don't even teach cursive writing anymore because people don't use it very often. So I'm curious if you're in school, if you learn cursive there, or if it's just something that they don't no longer teach. For reading, the girls both use a program called All About Reading, and it's a very intensive phonics program. So we spend a lot of time making sure we know all the phonics rules and building words, and that comes with stories we can read. So it's just very heavily phonics, I'd say. And while I'm working with Maya, Addie's gonna be doing her reading. She has some reading from school and some books she's reading for pleasure. And then we'll swap, and Maya will go read her books, and I'll work with Addie one-on-one. All About Reading comes with this giant board that we have all these letter tiles on, and or phonogram tiles with consonant teams and vowel teams and syllable types, and we use this constantly to build words together and divide words into syllables and label the syllable types, right? It's a lot of word building with tiles. Maya's excited because she might get her ears pierced tomorrow, so she's extra cheery today, aren't you? But we gotta have a good day at school first before we get our ears pierced, right?
Yeah.
Handwriting, she's moving on to her reading, and she actually has some reading from her tutorial. We go to tutorial 2 days a week, where Addie's in a 3rd grade class and Maya's in a 1st grade class. And in her 3rd grade class, what subjects do you do, Addie? You do creative writing,
literature, science, Bible, history, Spanish and art.
And you have literature homework. And what are you reading in literature class right now?
George Miller.
George Miller. So she's gonna get her literature homework done because that's due tomorrow. And then you're also reading for fun. What books, Addie?
I am reading Wayside School is Falling Down.
Wayside School is Falling Down. I read those when I was a kid. They're hilarious. Addie loved Dork Diaries and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's kind of like those books from my days, and I think she's enjoying them. You go do your reading. I usually let them go sit on the sofa and get comfortable when they do reading, and mine are gonna finish up our reading here.
Yes!
Back to work.
I taste want.
Want. And what sound does the A make in that word? A, or ah? Ah.
Turkeys, but I love that I and another thankful stuff.
Is it a good one?
Yes.
Now Maya's gonna go find a cozy place to snuggle up and read a book. She likes to read to Sandy sometimes too, so I'll come in the room and she'll be sitting on the floor with Sandy, and I'm gonna grab Addie and we're gonna do her reading assignment. Just like Maya, Addie has a big magnetic board filled with all sorts of phonogram tiles. Addie has more tiles though because she's in a higher level than Maya, because she's older than Maya. And so as you progress through all the levels, you add more of the phonogram tiles. For example, today, one of the tiles we're gonna be working on is EIGH, which is the sound A. It's funny because as I've been going through all these phonics lessons with the girls, it's amazing how many different rules and tricks there are to the English language that you just forget as adults, that maybe you learned as a child, maybe you didn't learn as a child, but going back and relearning them, it's been kind of refreshing for me, and it's starting to make words make sense that you always wondered, well, why is it spelled that way? And now I'm kind of reminding myself of all the rules for why certain words are spelled certain ways, and some of them are just odd. Some of them don't follow rules, right, Addie? We have our rule breaker words. We are done for reading for the day, so you can put your books back and your box back, and we're gonna move on to our next subject. Big news, girls. I don't think I've told you this, but you're actually almost done with your reading curriculum for the year.
Wait, what does that mean?
That means you'll have finished your whole book for 3rd grade reading by the end of February.
By the end of February?
By the end of February. We're gonna move on to the next grade level, but that's pretty cool.
Next grade level?
Yeah, so we'll be doing 4th grade reading, and Maya will be doing 2nd grade reading.
Yay!
Early. One of the benefits of homeschooling is that we can kind of move at whatever pace they're at, so we can slow down if things are difficult and we need to spend more time on something, and we can just speed right through something that they're catching on to really quickly.
Yay.
All right, let's put reading away and we're gonna move on to math. Singapore Math with the Girls, which is a program that I really love. I think it's challenging and it really challenges you to think like a mathematician and really develop those strong math muscles. The girls actually used Singapore Math back in Phoenix, or at least Addie did in first grade, in kindergarten back in Phoenix, and then we moved here and went to the public schools here. I felt like they almost took a step down in the math. So this year I was really wanting to get back onto Singapore Math, and we had to play a little bit of catch up to get back to where they would have been if they had stuck with Singapore Math, but we've caught up and now the girls are just really excelling in math, and I love the program. I'm gonna start by working with Maya first. Yes, flashcards always first, which is just your favorite, isn't it, Maya?
Yes, it's my favorite.
I think you're being sarcastic. Maya doesn't love flashcards, but I think they're important to do. So while I'm working with Maya on flashcards in her lesson, Addie's back there. She's working on her mental math and a time test, and then it'll be time to swap. Every time the girls finish their flashcards, they get to pick out a sticker and put it on their sticker chart. And then once we finish the sticker charts, the girls get a special reward of some sort.
I need 3 more.
3 more. She gets 2 stickers today because she finished 1 sticker for doing all the subtraction, 1 sticker for all the addition. So 3 more and we get some surprise. Last time we did cookie decorating. Remember that with your friends from school?
Yes. I wonder what we should do this time.
I don't know.
We were gonna get new bikes for the marbles, but
we did get new bikes for the marbles.
What?
We also have marble jars over here. I had these in my classroom when I taught. So these are the marbles they draw from, and whenever they work really hard, which is really most of the time, they get to add marbles to their own jar. Each girl has their own. And then when those are filled up, we get another reward. So we filled them up 1 time so far this year. And hopefully we fill them up another time soon. Now Maya's done with her lesson, and so she's working on some pages from her workbook, from her extra practice book, and her intensive practice book. And so now moving on to Addie. Do you remember what we've been learning, Addie, in math? We've been doing length with kilometers and meters and centimeters, and today we're going to work on the addition and subtraction of compound units. So that means we're going to be adding and subtracting measurements and lengths that involve like kilometers and meters. One of the things that I really appreciate about homeschooling is that when the girls finish their work, I can right then and there correct it, call them over, and they can make any corrections or changes. So there's that immediate feedback of knowing what you did right, what you did wrong, and how we can change things. I feel like in the past, sometimes it would take a week to get, a test back, or a week to get back homework assignments. And by the time you got it back, it wasn't fresh in your head, you didn't remember it, and correcting it I don't think was quite as meaningful as it is now when we do it the first time, we correct it right away, and we can move on. On math today, and I think the kids are getting a little bit restless, so I definitely feel like it was time for a break now. I was hoping to take the kids outside for a quick bike ride, get a little exercise and fresh air, but unfortunately it's raining outside just enough that we probably shouldn't be out there. So we'll keep an eye on the weather, and if it clears up, we'll head out. But for now, we're gonna eat some lunch, and then I think I saw a cool package that came in the mail that might have some treats inside.
Cookies.
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 I think Grandma Griff sent out a treat for us. Should we open it and see what type of cookies they're? If they're cookies, I'm assuming they're cookies, because it says cookies on the box, but you never know. Addie's finishing up her math still, so we're gonna give her a little bit of time, so we're not gonna eat anything without her. She would feel left out, wouldn't she?
Yes.
Yummy,
yum, yum.
These
I want
are
this
beautiful.
Buttercream frosted cutout cookies.
We're gonna be eating cookies for days, I think. Days and days
Yeah.
and days. Look at these. You want some cookies, Addie?
Feet?
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Cookies.
Lunch first though.
Yeah.
Sky isn't too dark outside, so I'm hoping we can get outside in a little bit. We try to always get outside, get some exercise on the days we homeschool at home. Addie does horseback riding usually one of the days. The girls both do gymnastics, Maya does swim. But today we have no activities planned, so I was really hoping to try to get outside. So we're gonna keep an eye on that weather. Food is done, but before we break open the cookies, one more thing. Dishwasher needs to be empty. And now it's officially cookie time. We still have vocabulary, spelling, and grammar. So do you want to take cookies back to the homeschool room? We can get busting along? All right, I'm gonna move this so Stevie doesn't get it. For our spelling lessons, we use the program All About Spelling. Oh, Sandy, stop barking. Which is related to All About Reading. So we use the same board. They have spelling boxes. We do dictation. And again, they're learning a lot of spelling rules and phonics. When we first started this spelling program, one of the things I found interesting and took me a while to get used to is that there's not like a weekly spelling test where the kids memorize words all week and they're quizzed on it. Instead, you're just learning rules continuously. And sometimes the words seemed really easy to me and I thought they were maybe too easy. But now I've understood that it's just getting all those rules down so that you can basically spell any word by the time you're done with the program. Maya, why don't you get out your Wordly Wise book and we'll do vocab next. We use the Wordly Wise program for vocabulary for both Addie and Maya. I actually used it when I was a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and I loved it then and I still like it now. It's great for all the levels. It really gets good and intense for Addie's 3rd grade and it's much more basic and kid friendly for 1st graders. Do you like Wordly Wise, Maya?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
That there's some stories that you listen to and whenever you're done with the story you get to do some activities.
You do, don't you? And at the 1st grade level, it's really colorful and bright and just fun. It's enjoyable. I think kids enjoy it. Doesn't seem quite so much like work. It seems more like work for the 3rd grader, but I think she still does okay with it. We moved on to grammar and Maya's working on her desk with some copy work where she's copying some things. What parts of speech have we been learning a lot about, Maya? Verbs. Which are action words. What else?
Nouns.
Persons, place, things, ideas, adjectives. And remember the other one? Like he, she, it, we, us. What are those called?
Pronouns.
Pronouns. And they take the place of nouns. Good job, girlie. I just finished up working with Maya. She's gonna work at her desk for a little bit, finishing up her grammar. And then Miss Addie Roo, I'm gonna pull her over and we're gonna do her grammar right now. She's in another room studying for a big history test that she has tomorrow at school, all about ancient Chinese, the ancient Chinese civilization, I believe. And for grammar, we use first language lessons for the well-trained mind. And I don't know how you felt, Addie, but at first, it was a little odd. Seems a little odd, the program. There's a lot of like repetition, recitation, memorization, copy work, and it felt a little odd to me. It took me a while to get used to it, but I think it really lays a really strong foundation. So I like the program now, but it was just very different from what I was used to using. It's very classical. So Maya's pretty much done for the day now, so she's gonna go just read her book for a little bit while Addie finishes up, because I like them to finish at the same time, because it seems a little bit more fair that way. Good job, girlie. High five.
Well,
Want to go add some marbles to your jar?
yeah,
How about 5 marbles each?
5?
I usually let them add 5 marbles to their jar at the end of the day if they had a really good day, and they did have a really good day. Everyone was on task today. There was no whining, which doesn't always happen, let me tell you, but there was none today, and it was a great day. So we're gonna finish up now, and then I think it's clearing up outside, so I'm hoping, girls, we can go for a bike ride pretty soon. I know. But you know what? Let's go ahead and say goodbye to all of our friends watching. So what do we tell them?
And so, and the most important thing,
What is it?
If you haven't subscribed,
Yeah.
please, 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 please subscribe.
Well, how can you say no to that? To Tic-Tac-Toy?
And Tic-Tac-Toy
Tic-Tac-Toy
family.
Family, and follow us on Instagram at Tic-Tac-Toy Family. And we're on Roku. You can download our Roku app and watch non-stop Tic-Tac-Toy videos. XOXO!
Bye!